Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. The coordinates of the 3 points are as follows: f of 1, 0, g of 0, 0, h of negative 1, y. What is the measure of angle FGH? Okay, here we have 3 points. Okay, now let me draw an xy plane. Let me sketch it. Okay, here y-axis, and here we have x-axis. Okay, let me mark x over here and y over here, and let me mark number 1 over here on the x-axis and negative 1 over here. Okay, now let me plot the first point, that is f of 1, 0. Actually, this is the x-intercept because the y coordinate over here is 0. So we'll have the point f of 1, 0 is here, that is f of 1, 0. And this is origin 0, 0. So origin is over here, that is g of 0, 0, and h of negative 1, y. Okay, here this point h, we know the x coordinate negative 1, but y coordinate is not clearly known because we just have y. Okay, so where can we plot this point h of negative 1, y? Actually, we have to plot this point corresponding to the value negative 1 on the x-axis over here. So it depends on the value of y. There are 3 possible cases we can consider for the value of y. There is y may be positive, or y may be 0, or y may be negative, because we don't have any information about the value of y. If y is positive, then we'll have the point negative 1, y, that is this point h, will be over here in the second quadrant and somewhere else over here if y is positive, because this is a point corresponding to the value negative 1 on the x-axis. In case if the y is 0, then we'll have the point over here. Okay, in case if y is negative, then we'll have this point h of negative 1, y in the third quadrant somewhere else over here. But I do not know where exactly the point h is, because it depends on the value of y. Now let's consider the angle measures in the given answer choices, and we have to identify the terminal side of each angle measure. For example, let me consider the angle measure in answer choice A, that is 26 pi. For example, if the terminal side of this angle measure 26 pi is in the second quadrant, for example, it's over here, then we can consider this 26 pi is a measure of angle FGH, because the terminal side is over here at the location of the point H, or the terminal side of this angle measure 26 pi may be over here along the x-axis, I mean along the negative side of the x-axis. Again, we have the terminal side at the one of the possible locations of the point H. So we can consider this 26 pi as a measure of angle FGH, or we may have the terminal side of this angle 26 pi in the third quadrant. So in this case also, we have one of the possible locations of H over here. So we can consider this 26 pi as a measure of angle FGH. So when I consider the terminal side of the angle measure over here, it has to be on one of the possible 3 locations of the point H. Then we can decide that is a measure of angle FGH. Okay, how do you have to find the terminal side of the given angle measure? For example, in A, for that we have to understand the angle measures on the 4 quadrants we have over here. Okay, usually we start from 0 over here. On the positive side of x-axis, we will mark 0. Okay, now actually this is consider the positive side of y-axis. Then we'll have pi over 2 over here, that is 90 degrees. So we start from 0. When I move and reach this position, so we'll have the angle measure 90 degrees or pi over 2 radians. And this pi over 2 radians can be written as 1 over 2 times pi, and this 1 over 2 can be written as 0.5 pi. So that is, instead of pi over 2, we can write 0.5 pi. That means the angular distance between of each quadrant is 0.5 pi. Okay, now let's consider the angle measure over here. It's 180 degrees or pi radians. That is the distance in the second quadrant over here is 0.5 pi. Already we have 0.5 pi. When I add 0.5 pi to this one, I'm getting pi. So that's the angle measure we have over here. Now to get the angle measure over here, we have to add 0.5 pi to this pi. So then we get 1.5 pi. Now to get the angle measure at this position, we have to add 0.5 pi to this one. Then I'm getting 2 pi. Okay, so here again, okay, now let me start moving from here. So this is actually 0. When I reach this position, it's 0.5. When I reach over here, it's pi. And when I reach over here, it's 1.5 pi. And when I reach over here, it's 2 pi, this position. Again, when I reach this position, it's 2.5 pi. Again, when I reach this position, I'm getting 3 pi. And again, I travel, when I reach this position, I'm getting 3.5 pi. Okay, again I travel, when I reach this position, I'm getting 4 pi over here. So still travel 4 pi, and okay, still I'm traveling. When I reach this position, it's 5 pi. So when I read this question, it's 6 pi. So in this way, when I keep on moving, so I am getting even number pi on the positive side of x-axis. That is here. One second, just a moment, let me erase it. So on the positive side of x-axis, I'm getting even pi, even number of pi, that is 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi. And also on the negative side of x-axis, I'm getting odd pi, that is odd number of pi, that is 5, 3 pi, 5 pi. In this way, I keep getting angle measures over here. And here, on the positive side of y-axis, I'm getting 0.5 pi, then 2.5 pi, then we get 4.5 pi. In this way, I'll be getting. And on the negative side of y-axis, I'll be getting 1.5 pi, 3.5 pi, 5.5 pi. In this way, I'm getting angle measures. So here on the positive side of y-axis, I am getting actually even number, then 0.5, even number 0.5. On the negative side of y-axis, I am getting an odd number 0.5, that is 3.5, odd number 0.5. Okay, now let's identify, let's find the terminal side of each angle measure in the given answer choices. Okay, now let me go to answer choice A. We have 26 pi. That is, we have an even number in front of pi. That is, we have even number of pi. Just now we discussed we have even number of pi on the positive side of x-axis over here. So, but according to the discussion we have done already, the possible locations of the point H is over here in the second quadrant, or on the negative side of the x-axis, or in the third quadrant. So, but the terminal side of this 26 pi is over here on the positive side of x-axis. So, this cannot be the measure of angle FGH. So, we can reject answer choice A. Now, let's go to answer choice B. We have 27 pi. That is, we have odd number of pi because the number we have in front of pi is 27. Already we have discussed, we have odd number of pi on the negative side of x-axis, that's over here. So clearly the terminal side of this 27 pi is along the negative side of x-axis over here. So where we get the one of the positions of h of negative 1 comma y. So since the terminal side of this angle measure is at the position, is one of the position of h of negative 1 comma y. So this must be the measure of angle FGH. So the answer choice B must be correct. Anyways, we can verify the other answer choices as well. Okay, now let me go to answer choice C. Here we have 31 over 2. When I divide 31 by 2, I am getting 15.5. That is 15.5 pi. Already we know that 15 pi is along the negative side of the x-axis because 15 is an odd number. But if I want to get the terminal side of 15.5 pi, I have to add 0.5 to 15 pi. Then I'll be getting 15.5. Pi is over here. It's on the negative side of the vertical axis. So the terminal side of this 15.5 pi or 31 over 2 times pi is not in the position, one of the positions of the point h of negative 1 comma y. So we can reject answer choice C over here. Now let me consider answer choice D. Here we have 29 over 2. When I divide 29 by 2, I am getting 14.5. That is 14.5 pi. So when I have 14 pi angle measure, it will be over here on the positive side of x-axis because 14 is an even number. But here we have 14.5 pi. That means we have to add 0.5 pi to 14 pi. When I add 0.5 pi to 14 pi, then we'll be here. That is on the positive side of vertical axis of 14.5 pi. So the terminal side of this angle measure 29 over 2 pi is not in one of the positions of this point h of negative 1 comma y. So we can reject this one as well. So in the given answer choices, only for the angle measure 27 pi radians, we have the terminal side in one of the three possible positions of the point h of negative 1 comma y, that's over here. So therefore the measure of angle FGH is 27 pi radians that we have in answer choice B. The correct answer choice for this question is B.